My name is Don Sorrell, and today I want to talk to you about Forage Establishment. And my video today will be based on some work that I did with Chris Rice during the spring seeding of a new alfalfa field. So what are the keys to getting a good stand from a new forage seeding? First of all, you need to plan ahead, and that includes site selection. In the case of alfalfa, it needs a deep, well-drained soil. You need to soil test at least 6 months in advance, preferably. And the point of this is so that you will be able to adjust the soil pH and any fertility needs in advance of a new seeding. You also need to consider a variety. In this case, selecting the proper variety can be extremely important in yield and disease resistance. UK has good publications from their variety test trials that will give you an idea what varieties are best for our area. We selected a Roundup Ready variety for Chris's new alfalfa field because he had had some bad experiences with establishing alfalfa in the spring and having some weed control issues, mostly crabgrass, that has reduced his stand after only 1 year. Roundup Ready gives you that option of spraying the field after it's established to kill off any weeds, broadleaf or grasses in the field until it's well established. Then you can come back in a year or two and put in this case, additional grasses if you wish. Another thing that you need to do is attention to detail during the seeding process. In this case, Chris sprayed Roundup on this field during the fall of 2019, killed off the existing vegetation. He did disc that field up in the fall of 2019 prior to a seeding in the spring of 2020. In 2020, we basically seeded this field on April 6th. It's important as you seed, you pay very much attention to the timing of your seeding, the seeding rate, and the planting depth of the seed will vary between forage species. In the case of this field, we did color pack prior to seeding. This is not always necessary, but we did this in order to level out the seed bed and to help fill up any holes and push down any humps that we had in the field. Enjoy the rest of the video, which is based on the seeding practices with Chris's alfalfa field. We're at the Chris Rice farm on the 6th day of April 2020. This is a field about 1.5 acres in size that Chris is putting into Roundup Ready alfalfa. Chris had worked this up with a disc last fall and has come back this spring and actually worked it twice, and we're making one more pass with a color packer just to smooth it out and take care of any humps and dips that might be in the field. So Chris is actually preparing this for a spring seeding, has done the soil testing that it needs, and applied the fertilizer, which in his case was 500 pounds of 0060. Also important that you know the acreage of your field. You can do this a number of ways. One is you can work with me. I have a little Garmin which I'm holding here. This works off of satellites. You can also go online. There's many tools. You can go online and actually pull up your farm off of Google and calculate the field there. One of the things that we use here in northern Kentucky is Link GIS, which some farmers are very familiar with, and they can use that as a
calculation tool. So I encourage you to make sure you do the calculations so that you're not, first of all, wasting seed, under or over seeding the field, and same thing when it comes to fertilizing. We're weighing out our 15 pounds per acre rate. You can go up to 20 pounds per acre, but 15 is more than adequate. We have a standard utility scales here. As you can see, we've tared a 5-gallon bucket, and the actual variety we're using is from Farm Science Genetics, and the variety is 438RR. Chris is seeding this Roundup Ready alfalfa with a herd seeder at the rate of 15 pounds per acre. And he's going to go over it twice just to get good coverage on the seed. Chris is pull-a-pocking this after we have seeded it. And we're pull-a-pocking this the opposite way that was seeded and pull-a-pocked the first time. That gives you a little bit more ridges that help reduce any potential erosion issues. We're pull-a-pocking against the slope in this case. So what we wind up with is a good firm seed bed, and the seed covered up, and the soil firm back up for easy germination and without drying out. So here is the end result of the final seed bed here. You can see the ridges associated with the pull-a-packer. And that is very important to go ahead and firm that seed bed back up after you have disked and worked it up and seeded. And you need to come back in after seeding and firm that seed bed back up.